Just what I always wanted. Let's see how Megatron likes a dose of his own medicine. Now that was a kick. Bring that back, you bird brain!
What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot Ed, and today we have in front of you none other than the Studio Series 86 Transformers the movie Brawn. Now, we've been waiting on this Brawn for quite some time. Heard rumors, heard the talk, and now we have him. I've got to say, there's some issues. When I say issues, nothing really bad. It's just some issues dealing with transformation. I may or may not show it off because, like I said before, I only did this once. Always make sure they're in vehicle mode. But before we do that, we're going to look at the packaging. And of course, we have inside here the guts. Instructions in here as well. On the back, we have the 23 steps to transform. And interesting, I want to show this part here. How his head is darker on this thing than it is with the actual toy. Maybe a little too dark. I kind of like it on the browner side, like I did it on mine, but yeah, you can see it here. But other than that, that's the way it looks, and there's going to be the backdrop there. So we can talk about anything else later. Let's just talk about the figure. Let's get back into frame and down. So let's go with the figure. So you can see underneath the Brawn body, he's got that original G1 body. Now, I do like the yellow and I do like the green. You can see where here it's kind of a little off. But that's just because of the transformation, how you have to put in the parts, and it's a little tricky. But any mistakes is probably my fault, and I will blame myself. And of course, here from the back, he has no paint, so repro labels will have to fix that. And this is all painted, so it's not clear plastic like we have been getting previously, which is kind of a downgrade. But then again, you know, hey, we get what we get. We know what time it is. The wheels, of course, had the little green in it, and I just kind of painted it gunmetal. So that matches the rims. So to me, that makes it look better. In the front, we have this wonderful grill, and I think that looks nice. Always makes me think of that episode when they're under the ice and he activates the drill. So we know third party's going to come through with that. And of course, here from the top, we have the gun here. He's got the stripes on top of the roof. Like I said, everything else is pretty nice. So we're going to do some quick comparisons. Nothing. All right, we're back. Real quick, I had to grab one of the other figures I want to compare him to. We're going to be comparing some Brawns. The next Brawn is going to be from the way back, which was iGear MWH03 Hinch. This came out in 2012. Now, these were the hotness. Not perfect, but the hotness. Why? Not gonna lie, they weren't super perfect, but what they were trying to do, I will give them boy credit, because Hasbro didn't give us that size. And this size, actually, all the Brawns and you know, the gears and all the other figures that we got that were in that size were a little smaller, more aching to that of what we got, say, maybe Titan's Return with like this. And whereas, you know, this one is extended to put into Titan Master, you know, if you really compact him, he would be smaller. So in essence, they were a little smaller than they should be. That's why I'm happy with Legacy. We got the current size, but with this is way back in 2012. Now this is, you know, that the plastic quality is fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's fine. Very similar transformation. But the cool thing about this, we'll talk about it also in the review, is what it had going for it when we get to that part. And then, of course, you can see they both roll. Some similarities where this is more G1 toy with the, you know, that he had like multiple windows. This is more G1 animation model, even though this is supposed to be based on animation. As you can see here, it even has that original M, you know, and what's his name told the story about that. Chris McFeely about that. It's a very similar thing about that. So I give iGear credit for making these, because these were a good job. And of course they came with the guns. And in this case, they gave him like a shotgun. As you can see there, he's got the wheel on top. And this was my gear. I mean, oh my goodness, this is my Brawn for a few years. But then I got one more. Here's the gun that comes with him. As you can see here, this is the one that comes with the Studio Series versus the one that came with and he's got that pump action shotgun thing going on, and I thought that was pretty cool. We're going to show off one more vehicle, and that's going to be MMC's Gravis. And so Gravis is, you could say, an IDW Cybertronian version of Brawn. He comes also with a gun. Everybody has nicer guns than the one that comes with the figure. You see that there. But he looks like one of those like futuristic vehicles with the tank treads. You know, he just kind of skirts along. Kind of reminds me of the stuff from Ghost in the Shell. They used to come on the series that's kind of like the prequel to the series, the actual series. That one, it had these vehicles that looked like that. And I always thought that was pretty cool. But then this became my Brawn because he just had that look and that size. So when I got this one, it was like, oh snap, this is like the best of both worlds. Because, you know, he's kind of on the larger size, even when you transform him. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good figure. But these are all of the Brawns that I have. And then basically in a nutshell, what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and do, I think we'll go ahead and do transformation. And after that, we'll show off the robot modes and then wrap this puppy up and then do the other reviews so I can finish enjoying my Sunday. And we're going to take some pictures of the cars and vehicle mode, and then we're going to come back and we'll start everything up in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic. And before we start, I just wanted to let you know that this comes off as well. If you want to take this off, you can take the tire off. That's pretty cool. Didn't know that at first. I was just playing around. And yeah, you can take that off and you got a gaping hole there. Now, if I don't do this on camera correctly, then we're going to edit it out. And I don't want to hear any noise. So be quiet because I've only done this once. It is really not that hard of a transformation once you figure out certain things. And yes, you can get the old school. I think you can get the old school. Can you get old school? Let me see. You do it. I know they did it somehow, some way, but yeah, you can get the old school, you know, how you used to look on stilts. If you want to. I don't want to. So it's me all like, what you mean you don't want to? And you basically just fold the legs and they collapse in like that. Why is that important? Because this is where the feet are. And basically unfurl these and these are the feet. And how do you know which is which? Well, this is where his feet are going to be. This is his feet. Now I had some issues with mine on this side. I don't know why. But I just had some issues with it. And it is what it is. But unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to run this store and get this. Why do you want it this way? Because this is basically, you're pretty much done. You know what I'm saying? It's you're pretty much done. I mean, seriously, you just kind of, that's where it's kind of tricky, is right here, is understanding this part. And you fold this back. And yes, the arms are, just remember that. See those tabs right there? I'm going to fold into there. And then when you do that, I'm going to swing the arms up. And then it's kind of like a little hole. You might not be able to see it, but here, see the hole right there? That hole is going to go into that tab right there. That's the way it's going to go. And you just kind of got to get it. It'll clamp in. And I heard some people say it was an issue for them. It was an issue for me. And it's going to be the same thing. But I forgot to do something with this part. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Before we do that, this part. So actually, you can see it a little better what I'm doing. So you can see when I swing this up, how it's going to fold into place. And you fold that down, fold this around. So yeah, we're getting this. Trust me, I've only done this once. Then you just kind of swing that down. When you swing that down, you fold this back in. That gives him a little bit. He's still got that dang on gaping hole. And after that, you just want to turn the legs around. And I am so pissed off at this thing right now that these things aren't clamping, man. I may have to just edit this. I don't know. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to pause so I can figure out why. And he just kind of, that is the part that I don't get. Like, I don't know what they were trying to do with this. You know, I really don't. So for the sake of what this is, I don't know. Like, this part confuses me, and I'm going to try to straighten out the legs off camera. Like, the back just really confuses the heck out of me. Because this was not like this when I first transformed him. So, you know. I don't know. Maybe I got these on backwards. I do know I want to switch. Definitely want to switch the pins around. I definitely want to do that. All right, we're gonna go off camera for a second and come back. We'll be back in another 2 and 2. All right, we're back, and we're probably gonna have to edit some stuff, but I did the best I could. I'm gonna have to figure out why he's a little gappy there. But other than that, we have Brawn in his robot mode, as he should be. Articulation, yes, the head does turn 360, but I'm gonna warn you, this thing is tight. It is not on a ball joint. So, kind of take that as you probably wouldn't be turning him too much anyway, because you got this in the way. The sculpt is perfect. I love the paint. He's got silver on the arms. He's got green, military green, I guess, here. Well, olive color. Yellow. The yellow is a very vibrant yellow with the Autobot symbol tampled on, of course, in the back. Now, I took the tire so I wouldn't lose it and just put it back here because, like I said before, this is all you're going to get here in the back. So if you really wanted to just look, I mean, the best you can kind of use the tire, but then I think the tire popped out on me. I don't know why, as I was trying to get it so it just kind of stays stationary, but I guess not. Just put it back on the back and see how he stands, and he's still gonna stand up. He's just weird with that. Now he's just more weird, but I guess the back is the issue, but other than that, no problem. Of course, he's got the waist swivel, and he can do, I mean, if you want to, I'm not gonna be doing a 360 with his waist. Of course, he's got the basic leg. The leg goes out to here. Leg can't really go back unless you move this out the way, and then he can go back to about right there. Like I said before, this part really befuddles me as to why I didn't fold up maybe another notch, maybe a little bit, but I guess that's what they wanted. And this part right here is so weird because it doesn't fold in. Like it's just there. I for the sake of the video, I gotta put the tire back here. It's gonna throw me off, man. It's gonna throw me off. This is a great figure, and they just marred it with lazy engineering. Y'all get mad if you want to. Well, you know the Hasbro apologists, but it is just. I mean, at best, it just. Where is it supposed to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do anything else with it, man. The backpack is gonna befuddle me the rest of the video. But I guess they say eyes forward, and of course, the feet do swivel. The legs swivel here. Other than that, though, to be honest with you, I like him, and has not gone on the shelf yet, but he will be. And you can see there's a close-up of the head sculpt, as you can see there. He does look good. All right, so we're gonna compare him with some other of the mini bots that we have currently. Let's start with Bumblebee, because everybody loves Bumblebee. G1 Bumblebee. I like movie Bumblebee too, but of course, G1 Bumblebee, and that's a perfect size as they are supposed to be. He is supposed to be the smallest, but not exactly. And of course, you can see mine's got some damage on the front roof because of the fact that this paint was never cured on this figure, and thus now I have a permanent yellow nasty. It's just weird how that paint just kind of got that way. And then of course, here's what it is. I'm not mad. I got one. I got Bumblebee. He'll be vintage. And of course, here we have none other than Huffer. And then, just to add some more flair to the situation, we got Warpath. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get a giant Autobot symbol for him, because that is going to permanent Autobot symbol for him. But yeah, you can see. They look nice. Everybody looks nice together. Nice little group. But I still got a backup Bumblebee anyway. Well, not this mold. I don't know if I'll ever spend that much money on that. I got him for 30. I actually got 2 of them while I had the chance. But either way, I got him. So, hey, I'm cool. And of course, we're going to move all these guys out the way. Because of the fact that it's going to move them out the way to compare him to the other Brawns we have. So, next we're going to compare him to iGear Hinch. This is the first version. There's a comic version which actually matches this one a little better, but I like this one better just because this is actually G1 toy accurate. Now you can see the head here, and you have 2 heads. You just kind of turn around, and it's very hard to do. So I may pause. Be right back. All right, we're back, and you can see here we now have the. Oops, he's gonna fall. He's a little fiddly. But you see he also has the head. You basically have to turn around, and my hands are too big just to, there's no other way to do it. You got to kind of force it, and it's just a pain in the butt. But this is supposed to be like toy. Yeah, they say animation, but this is more toy accurate. Because I think the comic when they released actually had more colors like this, and even the arms were green. Whereas on this version, the arms are gray, which is definitely toy. If you ever had the original G1 toy, the little gray arms that come out, those little like claw looking things, they're gray. So yeah. But I did paint the head kind of a dark. I forgot what color I used, but it's not perfect, but it does darken the head a little bit. And again, I don't want to make his head too dark because Brawn reminds me of Adam, of the guy Murderface from Deathlock. So I don't want him to look like Deathlock, but I do need to darken it just a tad. But other than that, I still think that this Brawn is better than this one. But I do like what this one was trying to do. Both of them are kind of similar in a sense, in some ways, but the sculpt on this is better improved. This was something of a marvel for the time because, like I said, we didn't have a lot of mini bots. And if you don't believe me, we still don't have a lot of mini bots. It's just to let you know how far behind the 8 ball we are. Here's iGears. I forget what they call this one, but this is basically the iGear version of Gears. Just that you know what I'm saying? And this also came out in 2012. Again, not perfect, but for the time, it was the right size. And of course, we see Hasbro's going with that size. And well, yeah, it's 5, basically 4 or 5 inches. But let's get the ruler out. Ruler. You don't know what a ruler is. Man, don't tell me I lost my ruler again. Man, I just found him, man. Oh well. Well, they're like 5 inches. They're the same size. So iGear set the standard for what we're getting now in the Legacy line. All right. So we'll move him out the way for a second. And then, of course, we're going to bring in none other than the reformatted Gravis, which is basically IDW something. And basically, you can see here, he's much larger than the other ones. He's definitely larger than him. But the cool thing I like, though, he does have the correct head. I think the head sculpt on him, I love the color. It's got that darker gray. This was my Brawn, man. But I knew I would have to get a replacement for him because he's just a little too on the beefy side. But you get it. All right, you get it. So pretty much that's it. For comparisons, like I said, I can't find my ruler again. I don't know. Every time I find it, somebody steals it from me. So it is what it is. But we gotta do one more thing, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Be back in another 2 and 2. All right, and of course we're back. We had to show the backdrop off, and that's none other than the, of course, storming of the ship by the Decepticons. And will we get a battle damage Brawn? We don't know. I still gotta try to find the Ironhide and Prowl, and I really don't want it, but I want it at the same time because I have a plan. I prefer not to have that face of doom, but I know how to swap the legs from him to stick them onto the Amazon Earthrise Prowl. As far as the Ironhide, I'm not even worried about that. But basically, that's the backdrop. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap the puppy up and give you my final thoughts. All right, we're wrapping it up. So basically, if you understand what this episode this is from, then you're a true G1 head. For the rest of you that don't, stop telling me I don't know my G1 lore and watch the damn video. So how do I feel about the figure? Despite some of the flaws, despite some of the things that I don't like, mainly the back of the figure, I still don't like the back. If I'm doing something wrong, y'all can correct me on that. But other than that, though, I do like the figure overall. I think his presence is what is needed. I do feel like he does look like Brawn. I just feel that way. And the fact that he could hold the fusion cannon, because I couldn't get any of the other ones to really properly hold the fusion cannon, and he did it. So yeah, that's a plus for me, just the fact that he could do that. So yeah, he looks great. I'm glad I got him. I'm enjoying him. I'm ready to put him on the shelf, so I got the review out the way. You can take some quick snapshots of him. And yeah, I recommend this figure. Pick it up. You need a Brawn. No other Brawn. You can go through all your Titans Return and want to give me this Brawn and that Brawn. Give me some other Brawn and give me a Brawn from GDO. This is the Brawn you need. Please don't tell me about all your other Brawns. This is Brawn, okay? All right. This is Super Robot. Bring you more news and reviews. Just see you soon. Bye-bye.